Good morning, beautiful souls, and anyone who's watching this now on the replay, things are going on YouTube. I was a little concerned this morning. Those of you that are in southeast Queensland or Queensland itself would know that there's some cyclone action happening out more off the coast, and we're not sure if it's really started coming fully into land. We've got a lot of wind. So I wasn't fully sure whether we were going to get a good streaming, some good live action happening here today, but so far it looks okay. I was aware that last week was our first week here on YouTube, doing it live on YouTube rather than Facebook, and the picture quality wasn't great. So we're going to see how we go as to whether we stay here on YouTube doing our lives or go back to Facebook. So let's give it a whirl. Feel free to put your comments in below as to what you prefer. We're aware that Facebook aren't keeping their lives past 30 days now, but we can always upload to YouTube, which is what we were doing in the past. So you know that on YouTube you've got the kind of bank of meditations, and you'll only have 4 at a time on Facebook because they're only going to keep them 30 days of Facebook live. So we're trialing it over here on YouTube to do the lives and have everything over here. But yeah, let me know if you prefer it the other way around, or if you love this and not having to go on Facebook. So today we have moved up a notch, literally a notch, to the suprasternal notch, which I'm actually cunningly hidden. I wore this necklace because it's a really great activation for the throat. But the suprasternal notch is just here because we're working on the throat chakra. And the sort of holy grail, if you like, of throat is here, the suprasternal notch. That's the area that we want to feel and tune into and sense, if you like, that the sound, the vibration flowing over that suprasternal notch, because that is the sort of temple. That's the alchemical gateway, if you like, for the power of your word to become reality. The purer you become a channel for truth, which means that the purer your alignment is, the clearer your discernment is over higher self truths and base opinions or mind-based opinions, the more you become a clear channel for higher self, then the more potent the power of your word. That when you speak, whatever you say becomes true. I don't know if you've noticed that. As you've been going along your path, I certainly have. And you start to sort of think things, say things, and they start to just show up in your world. Things come to you that you are desiring as you get clearer and clearer on that channel, and as more and more resistance falls out of the way. And part of that journey is owning the power of your word, is being conscious to the power of your word and raising the quality of your speech so that you are aware if you are using this power to gossip, maybe to complain, to speak negatively about yourself in particular or about situations. There is a discernment of higher consciousness that needs to come through, an awareness of what you are speaking, how you are speaking, and what is being said, and the intention behind that. It's like everything. We have a power. We have so much power with our breath, with our word, with our actions, with our thoughts, our intention, our energy, our emotions. But the level of consciousness that comes to it is what gives it the power. We're breathing every day, but when we consciously sit down and do pranayama, yogic breath work, we have a power to create so much healing in various different ways, whatever it is that we're needing. And it's the same with speaking. We are speaking all of the time. If you want to increase the power of your speech to manifest all that you desire and to be heard in the way that you want to be heard, you need to raise the consciousness and raise the awareness of how you are speaking. Increase the vibrational quality. So important. So important, because we are always speaking and you are always being heard or not heard. And we're always wanting to create. Yes. So have a feel. Today is to awaken sensation and feeling and awareness of the throat. We're going to be using the Bij mantra, Yam in the throat, Ham. And it's that same ha sound that we want to imagine we are saying when we're breathing. If I come closer to the microphone, you get like a little ocean sound, as if you are breathing through the throat. You are imagining you are still saying ha, doing what you would do mechanically, in the throat physically, to say ha, but with your mouth closed as you breathe. And we might start with putting your finger in that suprasternal notch to increase, again, your awareness to that alchemical kind of gateway. So the mantra is Ham. The breath is Ujaii breath, which focuses the energy at the throat, deepens your presence, because the throat is also around deep peace and presence and intuition and truth, as well as the power of our word and the I have a right to speak. Because the more peaceful you are, the less you need to speak to defend yourself. And you just speak because you know you have to, right? It's a higher energy moving through you saying, you need to speak up right now. You're not speaking up in order to justify something. You're not speaking up in order to have your opinion heard. You're not speaking up in order to feel more worthy and lend your voice to the whatever it is. You're not speaking up because you don't normally feel heard or you need to feel heard. You're speaking up because it's the right thing to do. And we can only know that speaking up is the right thing to do if we have this deep level of peace that doesn't need to defend itself or push or be heard in a particular way. It just is, right? There's no right or wrong. We start to lose the right or wrong and we just go with this is what is needed at this time, because we can hear or feel or sense that nudge of higher self saying, speak. Speak. So you need to be aware of what is your wound default. What is your wound default? There are many of us, especially women, who feel disempowered through their voice, through millennia of being suppressed, because the power of our word is so potent, that our voices have been shut down, whether it's this lifetime or other lifetimes. So it can be quite the wounding. And some of you will, because of that wounding, hold back your voice. And some of you may find you overusing your voice. And yet others of you will hold back, but then find little volcanoes of vocal expression come out through resentment or anger or angst or frustration, because you've not found a good balance of expressing yourself in a good way. So this is how the voice gets a little kind of like warped. When we feel frustrated and we don't feel heard, we can use our voice to manipulate, to control, to express frustration, anger, passive aggressive manipulation, putting others down, not intentionally, but it can come from a place of frustration. It can come from a place of not feeling heard. No one else can make you feel heard. You have to own your deep peace that doesn't need anyone else to tell you you are heard in order to be heard. You need to own the power of your voice, the power of your word. Dissolve the woundings around it in order to be able to speak freely and from a higher place when it is needed and not when it isn't. You need that deep peace and activation within you, and to heal those wounds, to even feel and allow that higher voice to come through, that is not from the mind or from the ego, but literally kind of rises up from the void, right? From womb space, or your deep center, if you're a man listening to this, rises up and through, or descends and comes through. So be curious about how any woundings around your voice are playing out for you. Next week, we're going to do more about healing those wounds. But this week, we want to just feel into, I have a right to speak. I have a right to withhold my voice, and I have a right to speak. You know, when we give ourselves permission to not speak or to speak, we can already start to find a balance. Yeah, we can already start to find a balance, and we give ourselves permission to speak from our highest place or not to speak. And giving ourselves permission requires more awareness already. And that requires, once again, the pause between input or nudge and response, so that we don't just react and say the usual things that we would say based on what someone else may have said or done, but we pause and say, I have a choice here to communicate something now through my word or to not. Is what I say here going to be in the highest? Is what I'm feeling to say here or not say, is that going to be in the highest? Does it need a reframe to come from the highest? Do I need to be observing what intention is behind this? Or do I need to just be silent? When we start to activate and work with the throat chakra, we start to get better at this discernment. We raise an awareness of our voice, and we get to notice. That is the first step, and we give ourselves permission. Yeah. So there's a mudra that helps with this. We interlace all of the hands, and we bring the thumb and index finger together either side. Yeah. Like a little fist, a knot. This is called Granthita mudra. Granthita mudra, and helps us to release the knots around speaking. You ever felt that kind of block in your throat? Like, it helps to really release that. So, Granthita mudra, but you might like to start off with just resting your hand here in the suprasternal notch, so you can really, really feel this gateway. Awesome. So closing your eyes, you can always still rest the other hand in Chin Mudra, because you're going to be coming almost to an interlocking of Chin Mudra here. And letting all of that just sit in your awareness right now. It's processing already as you close your eyes, and, you know, come into an allowing of the space that you're in today. As you come into allowing, feel your body resting more deeply. Feel the weight of your body in your chair or floor. There's nothing you have to fix here. You don't have to get anything right. We are just raising awareness. Follow the practices. Feel your body relaxing in that, knowing you have nothing to prove. You're just diving deeper into the essential nature of yourself, to feel your own highest truth, your own highest power. Feel your breath traveling up your throat, and down your throat into your lungs. Feel your whole body receiving this breath. And notice how you feel. anchor your presence through your body, through roots that you vision down into the earth. And then breathe out through these roots, through your body, through your base chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart, and now into your throat. And let's begin with the Ujaii breath, increasing sensation and awareness at the suprasternal notch and deep into the throat chakra. As you continue with the Ujaii breath, feel it really focusing that sensation and awareness. Dive into the sensation you feel. Equal breath in and out. Just take your focus and dive into that sensation of the Ujaii breath. And start to imagine as you continue with this Ujaii breath a deep royal blue color. It might be more of an indigo blue for you. You may even have another color in, so welcome that. Otherwise, a blue, the color of your throat chakra. And as you continue to breathe this Ujaii breath, start to visualize these whirls of blue light at the front and back of your neck. Your throat chakra radiates in both directions. And start to see it like cones of light, like megaphones, big cones of light and vibration at the front and back of your throat. Beaming out. And let your hand come down. Move to that Granthita mudra as you continue the Ujaii breath. I'm going to make this an audible sound now with our mantra hum. 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 Keeping your awareness on the suprasternal notch. Hum. Feeling the sensation travel through and across. Hum. Imagining the sound traveling through and across. Hum. Hum. Feeling the sound frequency then broadcasting out through this megaphone of hum, light and frequency. Hum. 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 Feeling it traveling front and back. Hum. 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 Hum, and start to go a little quieter with your voice. Hum, 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 whispering. And then just saying the mantra hum internally. And then let go of the mantra and dive in to this vast well of peace at your throat. Imagine this deep blue pool at the very center of your throat, expanding out into this vast lake of peace. It's gentle ripples at the edge, just ever increasing, soothing and calm. And into this vast lake of peace at your throat, drop these pebbles of awareness. I have a right to speak. I have a right to not speak. I choose to speak only in the highest. I choose to speak only in the highest. Watch the ripples flow out over this lake as you drop each of these pebbles of awareness into your pond. I have a right to speak. I have a right not to speak. I choose to speak only in the highest. I have a right to speak. I have a right not to speak. I choose to speak only in the highest, honoring the power of my word. I choose to speak only in the highest, honoring the power of my word. I choose to speak only in the highest, honoring the power of my word. Say it with me out loud. I choose to speak only in the highest, honoring the power of my word. I choose to speak only in the highest, honoring the power of my word. To speak only in the highest, honoring the power of my word. I choose to speak only in the highest, honoring the power of my word. Take it quieter. I choose to speak only in the highest, honoring the power of my word. I choose to speak only in the highest, honoring the power of my word. I choose to speak only in the highest, honoring the power of my word. I choose to speak only in the highest, honoring the power of my word. I choose to speak only in the highest, honoring the power of my word. Take it internally now. Mentally repeating, I choose to speak only in the highest, honoring the power of my word. And then let go of that mantra and just rest for the last few moments and the vastness of the peace within you. Taking a deeper breath in and out now. Noticing how you feel. As you slowly prepare to open your eyes, acknowledging this sensation that you might be feeling and not acknowledging any emotion, acknowledging any insights. As you slowly open your eyes and look through this lens of clarity and peace, have a little look around you. Notice how you feel. Let me know, how are you feeling? I feel a deep sense of peace. The power of our word comes through having the choice as to whether to speak or not, and not have your voice be a reaction, whether that reaction is to withhold or whether that reaction is to react into speaking. When we operate from reaction, we are operating from any potential wounding, and we want to elevate out of that. We want to transcend the wounding by dissolving those patterns into the clear light and presence and choices of here and now. So I invite you to do this meditation every day and to have that be your vehicle of awakening for your throat and the choice that you have in how to use the power of your word and the power of your silence, your non-word, and to awaken in you the awareness of when you do struggle with that. And that's okay. I am certainly not perfect, but we are learning, right? We are evolving. We are getting better and better every day at using our speech in a powerful, clear, higher way. And of course, our listening when we are not speaking. So I invite you to raise the bar on your awareness. If you've done this a few times with me now, raise the bar on what you say and how you say it, knowing that you are a creator of your reality through the power of your word. And so it is. Have a great day. Have a great week with this meditation. I would love to see some comments here. I know that on YouTube, I think you got to sign in and everything, and you are able to leave comments, but would love you to do that so we can continue that communication. And you get to, again, use the power of your word to affirm that which is true for you. Yeah, that which is in the highest. All right, beautiful ones. Have a great day. Have a great week. Stay safe, everyone. And I'll see you next time.